Most managers and CEOs often pretend as though customers are gold while their employees are disposable cups. How wrong they are. And every great thing and good things you want to achieve in your organization can only be powered by the energy of your committed workforce. So there's practically nothing you can do as an organization without great employees. So it's not possible that they are disposable cups if they matter in all that matters. So let's take, for example, let me bring you back to the words of Jim Collins in his book, Good to Great. It said, the only secret of building great organization is if you get, or you must get, the right employees or the right people on the bus. If you get the wrong people on the bus, then you're definitely going to have an organization accident. So the only way you can achieve your goals is putting the right people in the right place. Some people say putting round pegs in square holes will kill your company, but putting the square pegs in square holes and round pegs in round holes is going to help your company to be successful. So if employees are key, then we need to learn more about them. You cannot afford to get the people side of your business wrong. You know, I've been leading companies for years, and I realized there's pretty much nothing you can do without having the right mix of people helping you generate the right force for your business. And I can tell you most times, I use this illustration almost every time I'm trying to talk about having the right force. Imagine you want to push a car, and you're trying to push a car, and you need a certain level of force. And everyone you have around the car, you have 4 people around the car required to give the right push, but some are chilling, some are on Instagram while you're pushing the car, some are trying to push, and only one guy kept on pushing with all his yarns and all his bum, everything, and others are chilling at the same time. The pressure became more intense because the guy is exerting too much energy, because you have a lot of people, but you don't have people generating the right force. So I'll be sharing with you the kinds of employees that make up most teams and how you can deal with them to generate the right force that you need for your organization's momentum. So the first type of employees, I know you've seen them around, or it's possible you're actually the one I'm talking about now. I call them statues. You know, there are different names in different languages. They call them, Yoruba calls them ire, you know, people that they're just there. No matter what you say, no matter how you complain, no matter how you tell them to change about their performance, about their lateness, about anything, they will always do the same thing the same way. I call them useless employees. You know why? Because they're not useful for your goal. So it's possible they might be useful for another organizational goals, but they're not useful for your organizational goals. You might have seen them before. They choke you because they will never change. So what do you do for them, to them? 1, you must alert them about their misfits, about what they're doing, and give them a timeline for the change, which we know that they won't change. Then what do? Massive attack. Get them out of the bus, because they will start polluting others, and they're like virus. Their vibration over time will start infecting your team. So you must make sure you get rid of them as fast as you can. The second type of employees are who I call the wheelbarrows. The wheelbarrows are the employees that you push, but when you're there, they move. But when you leave them, they stop. They become statues. They pretend. You know, these are the people that frustrate you a lot, because When you're on ground, there are the people that celebrate or guy is out of work or guy is not around. Thank God. Is he around? He's not around. Oh my goodness. Today is a party day. That people that are interested in knowing your movement, whether you're coming or not. Why? Because they are wheelbarrows. They do eye service. They pretend as if they're working. But when you leave, they leave things the way it is. Now, this actually what is responsible for so many organizations' stagnation. Because when you're there, so the company only grows when the CEO is around or when the manager is around. But when the CEO is not around, the company starts groaning. So what do you do with this kind of employees, which makes about 60% of the workforce? There are a lot of them, they are wheelbarrows. So what do you do to them? Number one, make sure the performance goals are clear so that there's no room for eye service. And make sure you continually manage and communicate performance. And don't forget, when they don't do well, what do you do? When they still don't conform, what do? They're like cancer. You cut them off the organization. Because the more you don't cut them off, the more they eat deep into the culture of your business. And the CEO or the manager that has a lot of them around him, will never know peace. So, hope you're enjoying the first two kind of employees I've told you, the statues and the wheelbarrow. Don't forget, if you're watching this video and you're a statue or a wheelbarrow, you must decide to change. Most companies don't want them on the team. In fact, if the company retains a wheelbarrow and a statue on the team, you get frustrated. But the third one is now looking more like what we want. That's the cow. I call them the cow employees. This kind of employees, what they do is when you teach them how to graze. Now, you can just sleep and they do the right thing. Either you're watching them or not. All you have to do is to show them what they're meant to do, and they do it. That's the third category of employees. Most employers want them. You see, employers say, but I've told you to do this, but you didn't do it. How long will I tell you this? I'm tired of you. Now, this kind of people, which are cows, come on, they do exactly what you want them to do. They don't go beyond the scope of what you told them to do. So the only way you can expand them is to increase their scope. Then they begin to change again to live into the new scope, but they don't go beyond what you want them to do. They just give it to you the way you want it, how you want it, and that's all. How can you encourage them? Give them incentives, tell them what to do, and they do it. The fourth type of employees are the eagles. I call them the eagles because these employees spot opportunities and they do all to get it. I remember the words of Steve Jobs that said, it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so that they can tell us what to do. So in other words, eagles are people that when you hire them, they take your organization to the future. In fact, I tell people that when you hire eagles, you don't need to give them JDs. These guys are optimists, these guys are driven, these guys are achievement drunk. They don't get in companies and leave it the same way. They take you to the future. So how do you manage them? You need to create the right environment that won't choke them, that can make them soar. Because they're designed to soar, they're designed to thrive. You give them assignments, you create the right environment, and give them the right incentives. These guys, who are called the eagle, will take your company, your organization to where you should be. So, these four kind of employees have helped you. So what I want you to do is to start. If you are the employees I've talked about, if you're the statue, if you're the wheelbarrow, plan to change. And as a CEO, if you have the wheelbarrow and the statue in your team, get rid of them. All employees that will get to the top must be employees that are either a cow or eagles. The more eagles you have, the greater you can easily get to the top. You cannot treat your employees as trash because lie in their hands are the issues that matter to your business. See you some other time.
Seed Academy, empowering people